So by now you've heard that the US Federal Reserve is going to be pumping $1.5 trillion into the economy. We can try to go through the whole technical mumbo jumbo about what this is and what this isn't, how exactly it's going to work and not work. But let's be clear. This is a $1.5 trillion Wall Street bailout first and foremost. If it's anything else, it's only marginally so. This is Donald Trump and the American government bailing out Wall Street for the tune of $1.5 trillion. And Bernie Sanders nailed it here when he said on Twitter that when it's time to provide healthcare to all our people, we're told we can't afford it. But if the stock market is in trouble, no problem. The government can just hand out $1.5 trillion to calm the bankers on Wall Street. Bernie Sanders hits the nail right on the head there. This is being done not to solve the actual issues that are facing us in this emergency, but to calm the bankers, to calm the investors, to give them the handouts, to protect their wealth and their privilege and their comfort over the needs and concerns of regular people. And it shows that when the US government, as run by the elites, as run by the corporations, as run by the rich and wealthy and well-connected, see something as important, they can literally magically make $1.5 trillion appear. Yet, when it comes to fighting for things that working people need, like healthcare and education, both in times of urgency, but also in regular day-to-day life, the money doesn't exist. For war and for saving the financial markets, hunky-dory, $1.5 trillion. Would you like that with a gift wrap, sir? But when it's time for workers, when it's time for students, when it's time for the ill to get what they need, I'm sorry, we can't afford it. We would love to do it, but we can't afford it. And that's not just Donald Trump. That's also many of the neoliberal Democrats who have often made the excuse, both in this election and before it, that we'd love to have Medicare for all, don't you know? But we just can't afford it. We can't afford to cancel student loan debt. We can't afford to provide education as a basic human right in the United States for all those with the aptitude to achieve it. But this shows that you can. This shows that it's possible. This shows that the money can be found if there's a political will. And the only way we're going to get that political will is if we make President Sanders happen. On Twitter right now, trending #1 nationwide in the USA, hashtag President Sanders. Because while a lot of people think Bernie Sanders is done in this primary process, the delegates are still largely up for grabs, and Joe Biden has not demonstrated that he has what it takes, given his cognitive decline and his evasion of the media, to handle this emergency with full competency and with full trust from the public. That's my view, at least. Bernie Sanders is the one that when we face emergencies like this, and even when things are a little bit more normal, he is going to ensure that the full financial and material and human resources of the United States government are marshaled for progressive, democratic, egalitarian means that benefit regular folks first and foremost. And he might be the first president, at least in generations, if maybe ever, to actually do that consistently. Bernie Sanders' plans have just been proven to be far more pragmatic than we thought they were. We all knew we could get Bernie's plans done. We all knew it. We knew the money was there when you tax the rich on their income and their capital gains and their wealth and their financial transactions. We knew the money was there to cover education and healthcare. But little did we know that we could find the money almost immediately. We can find $1.5 trillion like that. And Bernie Sanders' plan to cancel student loan debt basically costs pretty much that exact same amount of money. So that's where we're at, folks. Bernie Sanders is the man for this moment, for this immediate crisis, and for all the things that surround it. It's certainly not Donald Trump. I think we can almost all agree on that. But it's not Joe Biden either. Today is one of those special days where both what Bernie Sanders did, but also what the rest of the system both did and didn't do, demonstrate that Bernie Sanders is the man for this moment. No one else is ready. No one else has the experience, the wisdom, and most importantly, no one else has the values and convictions to ensure that working people are put first. So if you want a president that can find $1.5 trillion like that for regular working class people, it's gotta be President Sanders, guys.